Welcome everybody back to Whiskey Words and Wisdom. Once again, episode, what is this, Don?
20.
Oh, shit. We're getting up there.
Yeah.
Today, we actually have a very, 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 very special guest. And I'm not going to wait too long since our dear fallen partner, Jenna, is out once again. Jenna, we love you.
Feel better.
Don't come around me with strep throat.
Damn,
Stop being in these streets. And maybe
it was for good reason.
Yeah.
It was her man's birthday.
It was her man's birthday. And if you guys don't follow Jenna, go follow Jenna and see what she did for her man for her birthday. Jenna's next level wild. But yeah, so we're gonna, without further ado, my bestie's in the building, Scheana Marie Honey Davies. Davies. Hey girl, hey.
How many varies was that? I got a very, 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 very special guest.
Yo, very, very. You know, it's the bestie from the Westie and gang. You know, yeah. So we're bringing her to you guys. We'll have an interesting conversation. But Scheana, what we do here is the first thing we always kick off with is, how was your weekend? So Don, how was your weekend?
It was cool.
What'd you do? You get to see the nephews?
No.
Damn.
I didn't.
That had to hurt.
It's my guys, man. I ain't seen them.
I bet.
What did I do? I don't even remember.
It was like that? You were in a fray?
I don't remember.
Damn.
I'm really trying to think about what I did. You know me, bro. I'm always doing like a million things. So if it passes, like...
Yeah, I understand that, man. Well, what do I think Don did? Because did we talk this weekend? We did talk, but what were you doing?
Besides work.
Did we do the best of the best of the best this weekend? Was that
no, but I think I was editing. Probably did an edit. Yo, that edit took me longer than usual. It took me like 2 days.
The one for the best of the best of the best?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It took me 2 days. Well, which is out now. Go check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. It's amazing. Quick, to the point.
Yeah, fun times.
It was dope. What'd he say? Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, trash.
Yeah. So, Miss Scheana, what did you do this weekend?
I just had to look at my calendar because I'm like, wait, what did I do?
Right?
I remember Sunday was a chill day at home. I just got shit done at home, which was nice to have a day off, not really worry about work, just like focus on stuff at home. But before that, Saturday I went down, did a round trip to San Diego for a baby shower and got to see my old neighbors. I miss them. We just moved back up here from San Diego. We've been down there 2.5 years.
Nice.
So it was nice to go down there, see them. Saw my friend, went to a baby shower, limboed at the baby shower, almost won. And then the last one, I was like, yeah, we're not even going to try that. It is a little too low and I don't want to hurt my back. I'm almost 38.
Yeah, you know, she's getting up there in age. She's, you know, a little bit younger than me, but, you know, she's getting there. She's starting to age gracefully.
What, 2 months?
Yeah, but you're aging gracefully, though, you know?
This guy.
Yeah, I forgot. So I was supposed to bring her, I brought my baby some shoes, man, some dope Vans. I got her, her daughter, who, if you guys know of Scheana, Summer, it's my baby. She's independent, does what the hell she wants. It's dope. I just like her seeing her frolic. She really just knows what she wants to do, which is dope. And then Ocean's her road dog. So I got them matching Vans there at the crib. But, yeah, I mean, what did I do this weekend? Scheana, it seems like you're always at some baby shower. Are you shit now?
There's a lot of babies that have been coming into this world the last couple of years. Yeah, there was another baby shower this weekend, too, that was here. Another friend of mine. A lot of babies.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's baby season done. You next?
No. By the way, I love San Diego.
Oh,
I love San Diego.
I miss
Because I'm just a fan of like hills and hilly areas.
Yeah.
So naturally, I just love that place.
For the scenery.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I miss it.
Don's power went out the other day, and he just went to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
At night.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock. I think I was doing some kind of work. And then, boom.
What?
So I thought my TV just like,
I thought that was blowing up the beach.
Nah. And then everything went off, and I'm just like, I guess I'm just stuck here. I was like, nah, I'm about to go to the beach. I had a blast.
At 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It was probably hella cold.
Not really. I mean, it was like 50-something. But it was warm in the house. I mean, it was warm in the house, so I didn't really. I didn't really feel it. So my whole drive, I went to drove down. Man, I'm blowing up my spot, but I was driving down playing music. Went to the beach. Nobody was there. Nobody was out.
Yeah.
I think it was almost like a full moon, so it was like this blue cast on the water, and I just listened to the waves, talked to God for a little bit.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think for me, I had a weekend.
To say the least.
Yeah. Obviously, you guys know I talk to you guys every day, but yeah, between going of a separation with the person I've been talking about for the last few weeks, which again, that's a lot of it has to do with myself and certain things that I had to work through, and I'm working through as far as a man learning certain insecurities that should not be present when dealing with a woman. And then just just getting some devastating. Well, I wouldn't even say devastating news. I would say some news that's like earth shocking. And I'm like, one day I think I'll share it with you guys, but I think I've been crying enough for the last few days. So, yeah, we won't really get into that today. But yeah, other than that, I just sat in the freaking apartment. Scheana tried to get me out. Didn't happen because I was not leaving the house. I was not, like, I feel like if I would have went anywhere and broke down, you know what I mean? Because it was the first situation where, like, you know, when you go through a separation with your partner, like, you don't eat, you don't sleep, it's things like that. And especially when you know you could have prevented it by just, like, being, like, you always tell me sometimes just to take a breath. You know what I mean? And sometimes I don't do that. My anxiety gets so wild. And it's like, okay, like, my brain's like, bro, just chill. It's nothing. Then it's like, no, you go do this right now. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, it's a lot, man. But I think that is now gone due to what I just discovered, because I felt like shock lately the last 2 days, but I haven't felt anxiety. I felt more like, well, is this part of me now that this has been discovered going to now, am I going to have these abandonment issues and this and that because I realized this isn't the case? So how am I going to live now without the anxiety and abandonment issues when I've had it my whole life, you know? So just navigating through that, and yeah, man, just trying to find a way to, like, not cry, bro. Like, that's what I did all weekend, was try to find a way to not cry, try to force myself to eat. Depression's real, y'all. Like, separations suck, breakups, whatever you want to call it, they suck, especially when, you know, your partner's dope and you know that you've got some issues you got to fix, and shit, it sucks, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm thankful to have friends, and like Scheana and Dawn, which is what I wanted to talk about today. I think we, as a society, don't put enough inference on your inner circle and how they help you get through life. They always say it takes a village when they talk about raising kids, but as far as yourself and maintaining your mental health, you need to have a circle of people. Maybe if it's even, it can be a tiny circle. You guys can just go in a circle if it's two of you.
That's important.
You know what I mean? And for those of you who don't know, Scheana's on this show called Vanderpump Rules. Comes out next week, a week from today, February 8th. Check it out. My besties fly. Check it. Yeah, so it comes out. Then the crazy part is I've never seen it. I don't want to see it because I think for me, that would be weird when I was on Sisterhood of Hip Hop, the way they depicted me on that, I was like, oh no. I was like, that's not, I was like, and what was crazy about the show I was on is they had it to where Tank had cussed at me. Tank's never cussed at me in his life. I was like, where the fuck that come from? And I was like, oh, they edited that in there to make it more drama. I was like, oh. So I feel like in your world, because it's your world now, and it's been your world for how long now?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. I mean, even longer from when we shot our pilot to now, but we've been on air for 10 years. It's our 10th season.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
I didn't know that.
It would have been 9 years for me if the show would have continued.
Wow.
Because ours started in 2014. That's
yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's like, I don't remember before this. I mean, I vaguely remember driving auditions from Hollywood to the West Side and all this shit in between. But I've been doing this for so long now. Wow. It's crazy, but very blessed.
That long? That's crazy. 10 years.
Yeah. So I will never watch that show because, again, if any of you guys come from my bestie in the comments, I can find IP addresses. Don't trip. But how important is it for you and being in that life to have a group of people you can confide in outside of that world?
How important is it for me to like separate it?
To have like a group of people as far as like you can confide in and doesn't have to get immersed in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because this show is me and some of my best friends. Yeah. So it's like we're all in this together, but outside of that, I do need to have my circle of people who know me and have known me, you know, some my whole life, some newer in my life, but they get to know all of me. And I feel like that's the hard thing with being on a TV show is because you don't get to see all of me. So definitely having a support system keeps me sane and grounded. And I think that's a really important thing when you're in this type of work, because it's just, it's like my life is my job is my life. And it's not really easy to separate that because they're so intertwined.
And does it bring a sense of paranoia sometimes? Because there are certain people in your group that when the cameras are on, I've heard turn it on. And there's, you know, it's a little bit of different dynamic.
Yeah. It's frustrating because I'm like,
because you're you.
Yeah. And it's like, you weren't like this last week when we talked, but now some people definitely are more opinionated when cameras are in their face. But that's also one of the things I love about this show is it forces you to be accountable, because when you're saying something on camera, you better follow it up, because you're going to have another conversation about it. And something you might say behind someone's back so you don't want to hurt their feelings, you're definitely saying to them to their face, probably at their birthday party.
I mean, I kind of think it's crazy because we would have studio times where in the studio, everything goes. Like conversation was kind of like the wildest shit. You would hear the wildest stories. Who was in the studio that one time when it was, what was it, Bieber, Maryland?
It was Gucci.
Oh, it was Bieber and Gucci, or no, Maryland. So it was Marilyn Kevin Manson. McCall next to us. Yeah. It was Marilyn Manson and Gucci, man. It's the randomest conversation ever.
Yeah. Marilyn
Manson's brilliant, by the way.
Super cool.
Yeah. But it was like next door, and it was just like, and I think Christina pulled up that day, Million.
I love her.
Did she?
She was there.
I don't remember. I just remember Gucci. Gucci was in there recording, and K-Mac came over and was like, yo, Gucci over there recording. We like, oh, cool. And his engineer was scared because Gucci was talking to him crazy. And he was like, man, I think Marilyn Manson gonna come through. And we like, huh?
What?
So we like, nah, we bullshit. So we just kept working. And sure enough, he pulled up.
God.
So we all go next door, and Gucci Man in there cutting the record. And Marilyn actually goes in the booth. So they in the booth at the same time. They just start going back and forth. And I'm like, this is the weirdest session ever.
Talk about a collab.
But the shit was dope.
It was weird. It was very weird.
That's crazy.
I gotta find that picture.
That was an interesting time.
Wow.
But just being in that and the things like, I think we garner trust in there, but you get to know about the outside world and things like that. So it's like when your worlds collide, like mentally, does it give you sort of like a trust issue with who you let in, who you push out, things like that?
No, I let in everyone. I'm so dumb. I trust everyone. Really? I think everyone's good. I think like I see the best in the worst people. And I'm so trusting. It's like to a fault. It's probably one of my best and worst qualities. Like I can just be so dumb and thinking, everything I tell you, like you're not going to say anything. You know, no. Oh my God. So with that, there's very few people in my life who I know, like Kale's one of them. I know if I confide something in him, it's not leaving this conversation. Right. And it's important to have that outside of this, because anyone who's, you know, on the show with me, pretty much anything you say is fair game. Sure, I can say, please don't repeat this, but it's kind of your job to repeat it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just, for you to still have that cheerfulness about it, for me, I'd be bugging, bro. I would not trust.
Right, that's why I'm listening to her talking. I'm like...
Period. Like, there's no possible, because mentally, it's like, that's a mind fuck. It's like...
Yeah.
Yo, I'm confiding in you. You're my best friend. You may have forgot. Like, we talk all the time, and we talk about shit, and we keep it going, but then the camera's on, and the shit I just confided in is now I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
that's weird.
Because our conversations couldn't be on.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Yo, no.
I had to fight.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think men and women are different, right?
Very. Yeah.
When it comes to that. Like, I think men are trusting, but to an extent. Like, there's homies I got that I'm like, I fuck with you. If we go out, kick it, we're cool. Then I've got, nigga, your phone's gonna get blown up like every day. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where it's like, I trust him with the deepest, darkest parts of me, just like with you. But there are some people I'm like, you would use this against me somehow, some way. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe it's the trauma of when I was on Sisterhood and me and TEC were super, like, at that time I thought we were close. And then I see the episode and then I see the tweet and I'm like, So I text him like, yo, bro, what's this about? And then it was like, oh, well, you need to hit up Bravo, or what was it, Oxygen about that? And I'm like, no, bro, you tweeted this. And he said, get out your feelings. And I was like, yo. And that's when I thought, at that time, because that's a decade ago, I was like, maybe this ain't for me, because I know where you live. I'm about to pull up and we're just about to fight. But it takes a like certain kind of vibrato and wherewithal inside yourself to be able to say, you know, this is a part of the gig. For you to say that, it's like, yo, it's fair game. I know this. I mean,
that's one of the reasons I was able to make up with Lala and forgive her for everything with Brock last season. Yeah. She was told something by my husband in confidence off camera.
Shout out to Brock.
And yes, but it then got repeated on camera and it was a massive storyline and it did not paint him in a good light. But I'm like, honey, you confided something in her. Just because you weren't filming, it didn't mean she wasn't going to repeat it. You didn't even give her the whole story. Right. So of course she hears these words and sees red, and I understand that she was looking out for my best interest. Her delivery was shit and she knows that. But I'm like, you got to understand that pretty much anything you say to anyone like is fair game to be repeated. So that was your bad, and now you've learned this lesson a really hard way. But I understand when we all have a job to do, and our job is to tell the story of all of our lives. So if this information is given to you, why would you not repeat it if you're looking out for me? And for that, I've been able to forgive her, and now we are so close. Our daughters are the same age. They're best friends. Our moms are best friends, and I'm so thankful for where we're at in our journey together, like coming back as friends, because I love her so much. But it took forgiveness and understanding. I'm like, I understand why you did it. I wish you didn't. I wish your delivery was different, but I understand.
See, you better. Yo, I sometimes, when Scheana tells me some shit sometimes, bro, I'll be like, there ain't no possible way. And I'm like very protective of you. So it's kind of like, yo, why are you just all of a sudden cheery with this person? And I'm sitting over there just sitting back looking at it like, do I got to snuff somebody?
I thought we didn't like her.
Yeah, like, not even that. No, just in the sense of you take that and like you kind of just brush it off. But I guess that comes with time and hardening yourself. But with that being said, do you think that maybe you are hardening yourself in ways to not feel certain things that are natural to humans?
I think I've done that for a long time. Yeah. I think I can be so open and have my walls down immediately, but at the same time, I know when I need to protect myself and back away from a person or a situation. So I think that's maybe like a coping mechanism of mine is sometimes I'll just shut you out. Like if I feel like this is dangerous for me and this is something that could hurt me or not lead to something good in my life, then like I'm done. I don't fuck with you anymore. Like I can cut someone so quick, and I love and hate that about me.
But you also forgive as well.
Totally. That's the thing. I could get over pretty much anything. Like it would take doing something really, really fucked up for me not to forgive you. I understand that a lot of people who are hurting and maybe take something out on me, it's projection. And I can understand that. So I'm like, I get it. And I'm strong enough to be able to forgive you and move on.
Yeah. And I'm very thankful, and Don is as well, for you being able to forgive people. Thank you, Rob, for the space, because without Scheana forgiving Rob, we wouldn't be here recording this
y'all
right
wouldn't
now.
have met.
Yeah. And we wouldn't have this space. So thank you for making this come to life.
Yeah.
Scheana is the reason this came to life, by the way.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you.
For sure.
Now, on the topic of friendships, how important to you as a woman is it to have these women relationships? And does it get because I know men, we can have ours. We can talk about sports, shit like that. But for women, how important do you think it is to have positive women relationships that are just solid? Because a lot of times I see women, they'll be friends with somebody and something can shake and break the foundation, and then it's done. Mm-hmm. So what for you is the level of importance that you feel like is necessary to have a group of like-minded or strong-willed women in your circle?
And to even narrow that down more, I think now women who are also mothers, like that was another reason it was so important for me to fix this friendship with Lala. Cause I'm like, our kids are the same age, you know, we're on the same show, we're in the same world. And there's a different level that it's once you become a mom and all of these hormones and childbirth and all of this shit you go through, it's just like a different level of a bond. But then even past that, postpartum, and I just realized a couple months ago through a lot of therapy that I have postpartum OCD, which was never diagnosed. And I didn't know that that was a thing. It's often misdiagnosed as postpartum depression. And when I went to that checkup, I had to check a bunch of boxes, yes, no, whatever. And I wanted to say yes to a few of the questions about postpartum depression, but I knew that's not what it is. And if I say yes to these things, then maybe they're going to diagnose me as I'm depressed when I know I'm not, but there's something wrong in my brain. And now having women friends, of course, is so important because we just get each other on a different level. But having so many friends who have become moms recently and also suffer either postpartum OCD or have the intrusive thoughts or went through the crazy hormone, and just like, it's so important to be able to be there for each other, to support each other, and just to know that like we're not alone. Like as women, we do all have so many shared experiences, and you don't just have to be a mom. That's just, like I said, to narrow yours down a little more, add a different layer. That's been so important for me, and more recently, especially in this now new journey of postpartum OCD that I'm figuring out how to live with. Do I see a psychiatrist to get medicated? Do I stick with the exposure therapy? And I'm just figuring this all out, and I'm choosing the exposure route for now, and we'll see. I'm not against getting on medication. I just want to do as much as I can on my own first. But I have so many amazing women in my life who are so supportive. And I think that's another thing that's really important is women supporting women, because women love to tear each other down. Everyone who trolls me on Instagram, on social media, 99% of them are women. Then there's like the one guy who's an asshole.
Right. Why do you feel that is?
I think women are very insecure, and it's a lot of projection. I think they maybe see something in me that I don't know if I remind them of someone who their ex cheated on them with, or whatever it may be. They see me as this person because fucking 16, 17 years ago, I dated a man who happened to be married. Didn't know that. Long story short, I, for the last like 16 years, am the home wrecking whore. And I'm like, why is the man not, he's the one who cheated. He's the one who had a pregnant wife at home. Why am I the one getting all of the blame for this? And I'm now labeled this for the rest of my life by women. Why are you not understand? I was 21 years old. I was blindsided by all of this. I had no idea who this person was, but I'm the one to blame, not the man, the woman. And
that's the wildest shit to me. I started to think about that. Like, a woman will be quick to tear down another. There are certain women that are anti-tearing down women, right? But there's a lot of women. And by the way, if you guys are in the comments and you're going to say, oh, nobody's trolling, you're not that important, you're trolling right now. So just go get a life. I mean, because that's what's going to happen. People just have no life. And unfortunately, it's we live in a society where people feel like I need attention. I'm going to say whatever I can to grab that attention. And once I do, now that dopamine has been, and now I'm going to continue to do that, right? But you will see women tearing down women. But at the same time, those same women will tear you down. But when you're down, they expect you to lift them up. And that shit confuses me, because if a man tears me down, bro, we not.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
I was just talking to my homie about that. I said, man, everybody wants grace, but never want to grant it.
Say that one more time.
Everyone wants grace, but no one wants to grant it.
That's a bar.
It's true.
That's crazy. I mean, why do you think that is, though? I can tell you why I think it is.
Wow.
Because it takes a sense of humility, and it takes also you taking accountability to say, hey, I was wrong in this moment. You know, most people don't want to look at themselves and say, I was wrong.
Yeah, that's a very valid and good point. And that's one thing I feel like through especially being on a television show and having this public platform is you're forced to be accountable. And if it's something, you know, I don't like that in my behavior. I felt like also, though, I kind of screwed myself where I started apologizing for things that I maybe didn't even need to be sorry for, because I'm like, okay, I'll take full accountability. Oh my God, I made you feel this way. I'm so sorry. And then it was just like, I'm done apologizing. Like, I'll apologize for this, but I'm not going to say all of this. Just like, no. And I finally grew a backbone this past year, and I was like, no, I'm done. Not apologizing for anything more than this. That I'm sorry for. I'm sorry that my perception of this situation made you feel a certain way, but I'm not sorry for anything else. I'm not sorry for doing my job. I'm not sorry for, you know, this and that. But yeah, I lost where I was going with that.
No, you're just not sorry. She's not sorry. She's not sorry. But I think that's true. I think there's a projection. I think also as a man, we project, like I've found out recently, like I have a tendency to project certain things onto my past partner, whatever the fuck. And a lot of times women, just to avoid conflict, will apologize, but it starts to fester and fester and fester.
I remember where I was going with it, being accountable and just having to admit when you're wrong. Like, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. It's like, okay, I fucked up. Let me fix it. Let me grow. Let me be better.
Yes.
And that is the one thing I'll say that some trolls have helped me with, because they see like the bad in me, or they see things that they don't like. But sometimes some of those things are things that I actually don't like either. And I'm like, wow, I never saw it that way. I'm going to try and be better.
Right.
So in the rare occasions, the trolls come through with helping me grow. But
sometimes,
normally,
so what I've learned through partner that's separated from me, sometimes you just got to be. Like, I think, and she made a good point. We were talking and she said, I think there needs to be a balance. I think sometimes, like, I have a tendency to do is focus on healing because that's my spectrum and area. And it's like, I don't take it as I'm trying to heal or psychoanalyze anybody, but a lot of times I'm naturally doing it. So I have to shake back and be like, oh shit, like I'm doing it again. But it's also like, I want to improve, but there's some things that are just, they're just going to be there. And if it's not affecting my life in a negative way, why am I now going to find another issue? Because then I'm going to constantly be trying to find something to fix. Right? I think that as humans, that's what we do sometimes is we find one thing, we fix it, then we find another and fix it. And like, we search for perfection when there is no such thing. There's literally no perfect. There's nothing we could have and say we would have a perfect life.
No, there's always going to be something.
You can have
Always.
a peaceful life,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no perfect life.
No.
And I think that's probably one of the things that's wrong with society and just a whole, and then being in your spectrum of the world, it's like you're in this area where you're seen in public and there's this expectation of perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as there's one little drop or something wrong that you do, then it's slander. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No grace at all. But it's like, you're supposed to be perfect.
Yeah.
You're Scheana. You're on Vanderpump.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fuck up.
And I feel like I held myself to that standard for so long in my life that the last few years, I just feel confident in who I am. I still struggle with that. I don't feel like I'm always the best mom, but I try to be. You know, I try my best every day. So I still kind of struggle in the confidence department in that sense, but no one's perfect, you know, and it's impossible. And I've given up on trying to be perfect. Like, I went to the Chargers game on New Year's Day in a onesie pajama set because I was comfortable. It was New Year's Day. I was tired from the night before, and I was just like, this is what I'm wearing. My mom's like, really, Scheana, you're wearing that? And I'm like, yes, I am. I don't care.
Facts.
And you know what? Last night, I was at a dinner last night, and there was a guy who was in the suite I was at. And he goes, you were the girl in the onesie. He's like, dude, that fit was so dope. And I was like, thank you. I thought so,
But
too.
it's so crazy.
But I was like, I don't care. I'm going in pajamas because I'm comfortable.
Because men, we won't care. Like, we won't give a fuck and be like, oh my gosh, she's in a onesie. But women will be quick to be like, what is she wearing?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I know. Yeah.
But you're like that with Brock sometimes. Where
I
he'll wear some shit and you'll
because,
be like,
bro, he's got no style sometimes, and he wears the most mismatched patterns that it's like he'll mix leopard with zebra and then like tie-dye with it's just like
you need some help.
No, we got randomly just paparazzi'd at the Grove one day, and he had a navy blue tie-dye like band tee. It said like Pink Floyd or Metallica or some shit with like black and white leopard spotted shorts and then like different color, like red tent. I was just like, oh my, what are you wearing? And then Daily Mail, they like to do very descriptive writings of the fit, and it was just like Brock Davies in a tie-dye with it's like, yeah, can we just see this description?
But Brock is
sometimes like, he needs a little help.
But he will own it. He don't give a fuck. Like, that's one thing I love.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He gives zero.
And I'm like, you know what? Unless we're going to like an important event or it's a red carpet, I'm like, no, honey, you're not gonna wear that. You're gonna wear this. I just embrace it. I'm like, that's just Brock.
Right.
And if it bothers other people, I'm like, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Because Brock is most time not worried about what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck. Brock's in his own. Like, he literally doesn't care what people are doing. So, like, if energy's good, cool, I'm here. If not, then all right, whatever.
Totally.
You know, and that's just who he is as a person, which is a good fit for you.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, his fits are
a little questionable at times.
I love you, bro.
I didn't know what he was wearing we just got married in August. I didn't know what he was wearing, but we thought me and my mom were like, oh, if you wore all white, like my dad wore all white at the wedding, like that's just like a Brock move. Not a lot of men wear all white on their wedding. So I knew the designer of the suit. I knew it was going to be all white, and he showed me his shoes, and I was like, he like wanted to make sure it was okay. And they were so I was like, yes, if you wore anything different, you wouldn't be you. Right. And I mean, oh my God, he looked so good.
He looked great.
But I was like, okay, we just need, my friend is going to design the suit because I know he's not going to give you maybe what you would want exactly. Because he would probably put like, he was talking about doing some pattern on the inside. I'm like, on the inside, that's fine. You want to, for the after party, whatever. But, just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, best wedding ever, by the way. Except for the fucking except for the fucking mosquitoes.
Oh my God. Bro. And the sandflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Cancun.
You saw
in
when I
August.
came back. I was bit up when I came back.
You was calling me, bro, these mosquitoes.
So
I literally was calling him. And
I looked like I had chicken pox. Yeah. It was so bad.
Oh, she got them on her face.
Oh yeah. I had them on me and my daughter. We had them on our faces. the day of the wedding.
the day of the wedding.
And I'm not going to put makeup on a 1-year-old.
And it's being filmed.
So it's like,
and it's being filmed.
Oh, that's tough.
yeah, makeup covered up mine.
Yeah.
My daughter, she had some on her forehead. The bangs covered it, but I was just like, well, you have bites.
Yikes.
Sorry.
Yeah, but them mosquitoes, I told you, nigga.
Yeah.
I called him.
Yeah, we had a mosquito net. We literally, Brock and I slept under I had a long ass veil. I came back to the room and he was napping under my veil. I was like, that's so smart. So we slept under my veil the last 2 nights in Mexico as a mosquito net.
But it was beautiful and it was hot the whole night. So it was fire. And the after party was lit.
Yeah, I think spring in Cancun's a little better weather-wise, I will say.
Yeah.
August. Whew, who knew?
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
Don got the 411 because I was calling him the whole time.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about marriage. How is married life?
It's the same, to be honest. It's like we already have a child. We've already been living together for going on, 3 years this March? Yeah, we're in 2023. We didn't know we were fully moving in together in the beginning of the pandemic. We thought it was going to be a 2-week, vacay, quote unquote, in Palm Springs. We're just like, we're going to go here for a couple weeks, and then we go back to our lives. And 2 weeks turned into 4 months, turned into the show's not coming back anytime soon. So you may as well move to San Diego. And there we went for the next 2 years and then got pregnant, had a baby. So married life is the exact same as it's been for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you find, it's not, I mean, you found your person, but it's also the person he is. Like, I don't think he could change who he is in that, like, he's not. I think he holds himself to such a high standard.
Yeah.
And who he wants to be, not necessarily what society wants him to be, but who he wants him to be as a husband and a wife, that you pick the perfect partner for you. But at the same time, it's just with him, because he has this, Brock can be intense, but Brock is also one of the sweetest people I've met. And I think he shows you like we were talking about balance.
Yeah.
And it's like you guys have navigated through that, and it's just interesting to see your dynamic, because it's like and Brock's like, honey, it's I don't know, like I think that's special when you're able to find your person and it just works. It doesn't even seem like anything has changed. Because
why? Not to cut you off, that's because love is acceptance. You see how she say, "Oh, Brock just dress how he wants to, and I just let him be him because that's him." That's acceptance. Like you're not trying to change him to fit this persona or do this. It sounds like both of y'all love each other. Y'all accept this is how we are, and we together in this.
Yeah, but some people don't even know that they're doing it. It just can be a way of the way they've been conditioned, and they think it's a normalcy. Like we've had conversations about people who try to fit somebody into a box that they're not going to fit into that. And I think it's recognizing that within yourself, like, oh, I'm doing this behavior. You know what I mean? Like we've talked about that, why when you get with somebody, you want to change them from what you already had. You fell in love with this person and now you're trying to change them into this. But again, is it a projection?
That was actually kind of a hard thing for me and Brock, is when we met on a festival weekend, not sober whatsoever. And then we went to the festival together the next day. Then 2 weeks later, we're at another festival. Then 2 months, then fast forward like 6 weeks from there, we're in Bali together. Then 2 months later, we're at another festival. And it was just like, we had this fun party lifestyle. 6 months we're together, the whole world shuts down. We go to Palm Springs for a couple weeks. I end up getting pregnant. Then I have a miscarriage. Then I get pregnant again. It was like we went through so much so quick. It was so crazy. And I just felt like through all of this, he was just always like, he's my person. Like he never gave up on me. I didn't give up on him. We fought for it. It wasn't always easy. And I fully accept him for who he is, and same. But I feel like at around maybe the year mark, when after we had the miscarriage and then I got pregnant again, like obviously, and the world was still shut down. I'm not partying. We're not going to festivals. We're not doing any of this. And then it's like, this isn't the version, you know, I fell in love with, but this is the new norm. And now, I mean, I was so terrified of COVID, especially after a miscarriage. I thought COVID was going to kill my baby. I didn't see my friends unless they got tested. Like, I didn't want to be around anyone. And it was so hard for him because then he didn't see his friends for so long. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just so scared. Like, I don't want anything to happen to this baby again. That was the hardest thing I've ever been through. Yeah. And then, you know, we kind of had to find a way to love this version of me that wasn't that version that he fell in love with. And now, like, we're so good. And I wouldn't have this beautiful baby girl if that didn't happen. But it was a big change. I feel like the pandemic either made or broke relationships. It's like, this is going to work or this does not work. And for a second, it was like, does this work? We've only been together 6 months. You know, we can just cut our losses and just go back to our lives. But instead, we decided to try again, get a house in San Diego, and like, we've just had such a good life.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and it's funny you went there because I was going to go there. I think sometimes men, we don't realize how hard it is for women who have miscarriages, what you're going through mentally and physically. Not just physically, but mentally, how emotionally impacted.
Fucks you up.
Yeah. And I've heard that. And it's just, it's like, what goes through your mind when that happens as a woman?
Well, I also was told I went through 2 rounds of freezing my eggs because my fertility doctor said that based on my levels, my hormone levels, there would be a very, very slim chance I would ever get pregnant naturally. It would be really hard. So I froze my eggs twice. I was single at the time. I was like, I don't want to wake up at 40 and want a kid and be like, now it's too late. I missed my time. So I did that before I met Brock. And then I meet Brock and we're together a few months. And I was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I froze my eggs twice. My doctor's saying, you know, like, we have some, but we don't have a lot. So maybe I do a 3rd round. I'm letting you know I'm going off birth control. So, like, we need to be careful. But also, I don't think I can get pregnant. I've never been pregnant. So we weren't safe. But it also then took 4 or 5 months of, you know, not trying for me to get pregnant. And then I'm pregnant and I'm like, wait, what? I've never had a positive pregnancy test in my life. It was so shocking. And both of us have no jobs at the time. Like, the show is not going on. He was a gym owner. There's no work for us right now. But I mean, there was no question about it. I'm like, I want this baby so much. I've never wanted something more in my life. And then 3 weeks later, it's taken from me. And that just, like, to process all of those emotions in 3 weeks. And then I was like, no, I want to try again. But he's like, I just think we should maybe wait and figure out what's going on with the show. Figure out if the gyms are ever going to open back up. And I was like, no, you're right. You're right. But my doctor also told me the best chance I had to have a healthy baby was to wait 1 ovulation cycle, 1 period, and try again right away. Like 5 weeks after my miscarriage, that's when I should probably start trying again. So I was like, I just want you to know that I'm fine. I agree. We should probably figure out, you know, what's going on with our financials in 2020 and not try to have a baby. But just know, if we don't now, it may never happen. So we both have to be okay knowing this is a possibility if we don't try now. And then we tried and
got
had
my
baby.
So.
Success.
But the crazy part about that is I think about that in the sense of, as a woman who did not believe they can get pregnant, now you're given this glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
And then the doctor says, hey, you still may have another glimmer of hope, but it's got to be quick. So in your head, you're probably thinking like, fuck, man, financially this doesn't make sense. But bro, I didn't think I could get pregnant at all. But we got to take advantage because we don't know when this door is going to close. So I could understand how you were probably having an internal battle.
It was so tough. Yeah. But I was just like, look, I didn't try to trick him. He knew the week that it was like, okay, this is the week that I am the most fertile I will ever be in my entire life. And also the DNC procedure that I had to have for the miscarriage, that just like wakes up your body in a different way. On top of me doing 2 rounds of freezing my eggs, it was like, my body's ready this week. So just so you know, if we have sex this week, I could very likely get pregnant. And we did a couple times, but then the time that I got pregnant, it was like, I was like, you just got me pregnant. I know it. You did it. And I was like, but then that also was such a mind fuck for me because for 3 weeks, I was treating my body as if I was pregnant when I didn't know if I actually was. So then I'm like, I'm just waiting to miss this period. And what if I don't miss it? And then I just get it. And then that's just going to be so devastating. But I missed it.
Brock was living a life, though, I bet you, because pregnancy sex, bro, that's a different level. Yo, no.
But then once you're like 2 pregnant, then it's just awkward.
But women are OD. Like, they get OD horny when they're pregnant, bro. It's insane.
Second trimester?
And then if you say no, then it's like, what's wrong with me?
I know. That's when you just got to take the vibrator in the shower, you know?
Yeah, but it's wild, the emotions they go through during pregnancy. I was like, bro, like shout out to my baby mom. You know, I love her to death. She's the homie. But she was crazy. I was like, bro, like.
Don't call a woman crazy.
Yeah, my bad.
It's the hormones. Have you seen Knocked Up?
Yeah.
Fuck you, hormones.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's my road dog. And she was insane, bro. I was like, because I'm fearful. I was like, bro, I'm not about to poke my child, bro. Like, it's not.
No, Brock was the same way. Like, there got to be a point when I was too pregnant, and I'm like, I'll just turn over. It's fine. You won't even see the belt. He's like, I can't. He's such a, which I love about him, but sometimes I'm like, come on, let's just, you know? But he's such a mental and emotional lover. And he's like, we need to be fully connected. And I'm like, no, we don't. Yeah. Sometimes we can just have sex. No, he can't.
I can't.
And so then I was just like, all right, well, what do I do with all of this right now?
Yeah, Don's like, it ain't me, but
savage.
Yeah, I can't, bro. If there ain't some kind of mental, like, if you don't stimulate my mind, it's not going. No. I don't want it. I've had baddies. No, I'm bad.
See, I've also never had this with a man before. Nothing against my ex, but never made me feel wanted the way that Brock does. It was like we just had sex. And with Brock, it's so much more than that. I'm like, sometimes I just want to have sex. But I've never had someone look at me the way he does, love me the way he does, and want me to feel the best, because that's the only way he can feel the best. I've been with, again, no offense, very selfish men in the past who just never cared about that part for me.
Yeah. Switching subjects.
Kale's never allowed back in the studio.
Yeah. Beep. Yeah. No, but I mean, he understands.
He just did my podcast. We talked about almost all of this. I didn't go there because that would have been inappropriate.
Yeah. No, but I get it. I mean, I think for a man, it's just something like when we know for us that we are in love with you, there's just not there. We can't there's no disconnect. It's like we want to show you in such a way.
Some, not all.
No, I'm sorry. When we are in love,
it's
different.
Move a mountain.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. When we are in love, it is like it's an obsession for us. Like we can, and we don't know how to control it because it's not a feeling we are used to. Mm-hmm. It's okay though. Not everybody's gonna be in love with you. They may think they are.
What? How dare you?
It's just it's the way of the world, man.
I know.
It's the law of the land. Mm-hmm. But for men, I mean, Don doesn't even love. I mean, he thinks women.
I mean, and who knows if I was actually in love? He thinks women shouldn't breathe.
I was playing.
He did say he was playing, y'all, but he did say he didn't want y'all to breathe. we gonna get to that heart, brother.
No.
What what are you, the scarecrow, right? Or no?
Wait.
Was it the? No, that wasn't this. Was it the scarecrow?
Lion?
No, it was the lion.
The lion needed a heart.
Scarecrow needed a brain.
Yeah. And
no, the Tin Man needed a heart.
Oh,
the lion needed courage.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We messed that all
Yo,
up.
you the Tin Man.
Sheesh.
You are the Tin Man.
Yeah.
Damn, you should change your handle on socials.
Tin Man.
Tin Man.
If
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
me.
you know.
Tin Man. Yeah, that's me. But I think we're in a weird time right now, man. I was thinking about shit. I'm like, life is lifing right now, and I think with all of us, we're just trying to keep it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you give yourself more grace now, but what are some of the things that you do to just keep it together? Because Scheana dives into shit. She's always, I'm like, bro, chill. Like, chill, relax. It's like you're pushing, and then one day shit's going to slow down, and what do you have for you set up to, when all you got is time to think?
I've got a baby who depends on me every second of the day.
At some point in time, she's not, trust me, that goes
she's
quick.
going to be my baby forever, Kale. She's never going to grow up and be a teenager who wants nothing to do with me.
Different for mothers, though.
No.
When they're younger.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm almost 38. My mom's my best friend.
What are you putting in place for yourself to be able to look towards or help you so you're not in here too much? Because I think right now you're not in here because you're always doing something, and so it doesn't allow you that time to sit in that space.
I mean, I started therapy like, what has it been, maybe 8-9 months ago.
Proud of you.
Thank you. So I've been doing that. Now that I realize that I have postpartum OCD, it's been an insane weight lifted off me, and just doing exposure therapy, spending more time alone with my daughter, which is like a fear of mine, to be alone with her too much, because what if something happens when I'm alone with her? Am I going to know what to do? Do I have that mom instinct? What if she chokes? Like, sure, I took the CPR class. That's been 2 years. Should I take it again? Like, then just the intrusive thoughts that go through my mind.
On the back.
You know? But I'm just trying to do the best I can right now with working on myself. But I don't know. I'm learning every day. I definitely take things from other moms, and I see how you do it this way and that works for you. Maybe I try it that way, and why don't you
just get a coloring book?
Coloring book? I used to love coloring.
Most people don't realize how therapeutic coloring is.
Huh.
It is insanely, weirdly therapeutic.
I've been journaling actually too.
That's good. But then you're still thinking about your thoughts when you're coloring.
Well, yeah, I'm writing my thoughts down. And then sometimes I'm like, what did I say yesterday? I'm like,
because think about it. When you're coloring, what are you focused on?
Staying in the lines.
Staying in the lines.
That doesn't give you any time to think about other shit. Your brain starts going, you know what I mean? It messes it up. And as an adult, you don't want to, as an adult, you start coloring outside the lines. You're like, bruh. Like,
oh
okay.
No, that's where the perfectionist kicks in, and I'm like, no, I will start all the way over.
That makes sense.
Yeah, bro. It doesn't give you it doesn't allow you that space.
Okay, I'm gonna get myself a coloring book.
Which is that's why they make kids do that at therapy, huh?
That's also why, as a child, you do it. It keeps you focused on that.
Okay.
Even the kids. And then they get proud and they show you, and it's all over the place. But it's their creativity, right?
Yeah.
So you should try it.
Okay.
I mean, because I think a lot of people think you need to make drastic. What I'm learning is that you don't need to make super drastic changes. Like, what I'm going through, obviously, I had to tell my therapist. I hit her up. I was like, hey, so we got to move back to twice a month. Because the shit I got to unpack now is a lot. But it could be something that's going to hoop. It could be something as, like, you're doing dance now.
Yeah, that too. I just started that. I'm taking dance class every week.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you should also get into boxing.
The nails don't allow it in the boxing gloves. I've tried it. I can't make an actual fist, and I'm not getting rid of my nails to start
You're not
boxing.
supposed to make a fist in boxing.
You have the gloves.
You don't make a fist.
But are they like more like this?
They're like this.
Yeah, but if I break these nails from, like, no.
There's plenty of women with nails that box.
Not these.
Yes.
I don't think so.
You just scared to hit something?
No, I used to.
You know what else?
Box
You know what you should do?
What?
The fucking smash shit.
I don't have a lot of anger though to like let out. Like I feel bad breaking things, so that I don't think is for me. I'd be like, oh, someone has to clean.
So we're
this
gonna
up.
stick to coloring books for Scheana.
Coloring books. That's way more me than the like rage room.
Yeah, I don't know if the rage how that would make me feel.
No, I don't like breaking things. That
I think
gives me anxiety.
I think it would give me anxiety. I think because the loud noise. Music's the only.
I would worry that I'm gonna cut myself on broken glass or something. It would not be therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
Really? You would want to break some? I don't see that, bro, because you're so like when we used to be in the studio, you'd be and just shutting everything out.
Oh, you gotta I had to get there. This is all a life journey. I told you, man, as much as I like Batman, I like the Joker.
Yeah. He did say there's a thin line.
It
between,
is a very thin line
between the villain and the hero.
And I can definitely blur that line. So I try to cut that part out and live on this side of the fence.
I know you have that in you.
Blurring the line?
Oh, I've seen you almost cross over to the Joker.
Oh, you could push me to that for sure, but it would be well deserved. I try to stay away from that, but sometimes it'll come out.
Yeah, I was there when I think you were filming the scene, and it was after the filming was done, and you and a particular individual, and I thought you were about to kill her. I was like, oh, this is about to get interesting.
Yeah.
She's an interesting character, by the way.
Most people got like duality. Some people don't know they have it. Some people know they got it.
I
don't want to go over.
Oh yeah, no, I can be a bitch, but it comes deserved.
Right.
I'm a very nice person, but I can snap for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm in this space right now with life. Like, fuck it. Like, and maybe it's because of all the shit that's happened the last couple of weeks, but I'm in that space of like, I'm about to be 38 in a month and a half. I've lived most of my life for other fucking people. I have my fucking flaws. I'm not perfect. I have anxiety out the fucking roof. And I'm learning how to hone it in. And hopefully by 40, I have it figured out. You know? But it's also a level of like, bro, like, we're not going to be living too much longer. When we think about the grand scheme of things, if I continuously try to find shit, like getting back to that point of fixing things, I'm going to miss out on just fucking living. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the problems that society has you doing is saying you have to be fixated on this. But while you're fixated on this, we're going to have this over here, this over here, this over here. So it's like, how the fuck do you expect me to focus on this when you're throwing this much shit at me? You know what I mean? So I think that starts to create sort of a distortion in your brain of, am I ever going to be doing enough? And sometimes you got to realize just waking up is doing enough. Just getting out the fucking bed is doing enough. Because I know there's been times where like even the last few days, like, if you hadn't FaceTimed me, I wasn't getting out the bed.
Have no human contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I mean, yeah.
When you're feeling that way.
Yeah, I know. I had to. He was going through it one day, and he was for the first time. He was not answering my call. I said, "Oh no," I said, "Hey," you know. But I think we all get to that point where it's kind of like that line of "fuck it," I don't want to care about anything. But then it's also like, we get to that point, and I'm not saying me. So no, I'm not saying that, but I can understand why suicide is at such a high rate. Because one, we have all had, I don't think there's anybody that can tell me they haven't had a thought of like, I don't want to do this anymore. It may not be like how, but you have that thought of like, I'm tired, right? But who's bringing you back? You know what I mean? And that's what the topic of the conversation was talking about is who is in your circle to bring you and talk you off that ledge, because sometimes you can't talk yourself off that ledge. And it's very important to have a secular set of people that you know that, listen, I need to have this particular person in my life, because if this happens, because our brains are super fragile, that I know this particular person can pull me back because they know my story. I trust them, and I know they know what they're gonna. I know they know what to say to pull me off that ledge, and I think it's super important about that. But again, it's also like we're in a society where we can't trust many people, so I think that's a little bit fucking weird. And then it's also you feel bad for putting burdens on people. even though we're supposed to rely on each other, it's a community thing. Like, it's literally, we're connected beings.
Some situations is just understandable. Like, if you going through that, it's like, fuck what I'm doing. It's about you right now. I got to talk you off the ledge, or I got to do this to revert that energy.
Yeah.
And bring you back. So it's like, whatever. It's just a moment that you got to take all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, because when I wanted to drink the other day, I told both of you that, and you guys were like,
yeah, nah.
No. No, we don't. Do you need to go to a meeting?
Yeah, she was like,
I go, it's Friday. Don't you have a meeting tonight?
yeah, because I've been doing the meetings on the phone and the Zoom, and yeah, it was an inch. I was like, yo, if I just have some wine. But then I started thinking,
Slippery
I was
slope.
like, yeah, I was like, nah. I mean, I love wine, but yeah.
Yeah, but then it's whiskey.
Yeah. But wine, I wish I could have just been a wino, bro, because
They have non-alcoholic wine. I'll get you some.
No, but it doesn't get me buzzed. But again, I miss wine, but I know myself. If I could just stick to wine all day, because one, I was happy and sleepy. That's all wine made me. And Don doesn't drink or do anything either, so he doesn't like not being in control. That's his thing.
Well, that's why I never get too drunk, because I'm the same way. I'm a control freak, and I don't ever want to be the friend like some of my friends are, where they need their hair held while they're in the club bathroom and just like don't remember anything the next day, can't walk, like falling asleep at dinner. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to be that. Right. So I just don't ever drink enough to get me there.
I just know I wouldn't enjoy it, because I'd be like, wait a minute, we're drunk. What's going on? Take the wheel. Oh, you can't? No, take the wheel. Like,
yeah.
It's a mind fuck. So
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thankful to have both of you two to talk me off the ledge, and also my sweet little sis Raquel, who's in the building. You can't see her; she's off camera, but to check on me with certain shit ain't going right. She doesn't even know the other half yet. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just very important. I think as people, we need to start loving on each other more. I think that
life is tough, man.
Even for you trolls out there, you are loved by somebody. So start whatever your obsession. I mean, cool, clicks, cool, interaction, whatever. Thank you for helping the money. But if you have time in your day to find something wrong with somebody who's in the public eye and criticize somebody you have no idea who they are, but what you see and perceive that the story you're making up in your head about them, please go get some help. I will pray for you. Hey, DM me. I may pay for your session. I may pay for your first session. But get some help, because you're doing more damage to yourself, because the more you start to project on the people, you're not doing the internal work to say, hey, why am I sitting over here beefing? One of the things that when me and Amanda first got together, one of the things she, on her profile, she said her biggest fear, seeing my man argue with somebody in Instagram comments. like thinking about that, because what in your head is about to have you go beef with somebody you don't know?
Yeah.
Like the obsession with that, like I don't even watch our show. Like I don't watch it. It's not for me. Like I said, I can't even go on your shit and look at your comments, because I know my brain, and I'm like, I'm about to be that person. Because I'm just protective. I'm just a protective person. So I shy away from that shit. I'm just like, let me bring the peace that I need to peace, and keep the other shit out. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to learn how to do, I guess, in life, is just let in what is positive, and that's okay. If everything you let in is positive, then you won't have any negative, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh, it may not be possible. Yes. If I don't let any negative in, it's not going to be possible. I block the person that gave me birth today, because I'm not dealing with negativity. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't have to. Somebody told me, hey, just because they're your parent, that's a label. You are an adult. You and your parent may not, just because they're your parent does not mean you have to have and you cool if you have a relationship, but you don't have to. But society tells you, no, you have to. It's your mom. It's your dad. It's your parent. You have to have a relationship. For what? What if we're just two different people and we don't see eye to eye? So I'm supposed to stay in this toxic relationship, but you don't want me to stay in a toxic relationship here. But this one's okay because it's my mom.
Mm-hmm. That is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. But
because you only get one mom, but when it's
at
mom
what
cost? You just gotta you gotta deal with them in a certain way.
But you don't.
But I'm saying, even if that's your way of dealing with it, then.
But I'm just that was an epiphany for me today, because I'm like, oh, it's my mom. But I'm like, yo, we don't click. Like, and I'm at a place where I'm like, I'm trying to elevate my life, and you are bringing static to my brain right now. So I'm gonna remove this. I may, it's my mom, so that I may circle back and say, hey, tap in, what's good? Oh, same. Okay, no, I'm good. Shut the door on it. You know what I mean? But I think we're giving, like I said, we're all so conditioned on society. It's your parent. It's this and that. It's a label. Mm-hmm. You gave me birth. Thank you. If you didn't, somebody else would have. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here and be going through this bullshit life. That's okay too. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not saying like in a morbid way, but just in general, I would have gotten here somehow if I was meant to be here. Mm-hmm. And just, I appreciate you bringing me into the world. But if we have such a disconnect, there's no need for me to maintain that relationship. For what? Because I'm told I have to, because of the standards of what society is. For what?
Society don't know shit.
Facts. You have to do what's best for you.
Facts. And that's what a lot of people don't. And
everything is circumstantial.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're meant to connect with people, but you literally get to choose who your family is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at a certain point, yeah, for sure. Being an adult is tough, bro. I'm trying to tell you, life is tough. So
life is
goes back to what you saying. You got to surround yourself with the best people possible. That would equip you for dealing with life. Because no matter how much money you making or whatever the case may be, like, we all going through it. Mm-hmm. You got billionaires, they going through shit. Facts. Too. You know what I mean? Look at Steve Jobs. All the money, he is who he is. He's not here. Mm-hmm. That shit don't exempt you from the human experience, bro. Everybody that's breathing on this motherfucker is going through something. Mm-hmm. It's life.
That's life. And life is life right now.
Life.
So, Scheana, what is something that you wish people knew about you that they probably don't?
I haven't had any plastic surgery. I'm against popular belief. A lot of people think that, and that's just annoying. That's just one thing that's annoying. And it bothers me. I'm like, I've
deeper
aged,
than
I've
dig deeper.
Lost the fat
dig
face.
deeper.
No, I know. That's just like
that's
one
thing.
Let it rock.
That is
Let it rock.
It's the one annoying thing that people say that's just like, no, I would admit it. So that comes to mind. But also, I think that the people who watch the show or listen to my podcast or watch my YouTube channel and they get to see the full me, I feel like they know I'm a good person. I have a good heart. I always see the best in people. I want the best for people. I just try to be the best version of myself and to use my public platform to raise awareness for things for other people to know, like, you're not alone. And I wish everyone saw that side of me instead of, oh, she's annoying, she's this, I don't like her voice, she's had so much work done. Like, all of that is just so annoying because I'm so much more than that. And I'm a very good person. And the people who fuck with me see that. But it's unfortunate you don't always get that just from, watching a TV show.
Yeah.
People see what they want to see, man.
They have a perception. And I think that is very much so true about who you are as a person and the love you give. So, where are you 5 years from now?
I don't know where I am 1 year from now. I feel like I do a really good job at living in the moment and just facing each day with what's in front of me and not worrying too far about the future. I also think that's a coping mechanism of mine because with my OCD, I am just terrified of the people closest to me dying. And when I think too far into the future, I'm like, well, is this person still going to be here? Am I like, my brain goes dark when I think future. So I just
live in the now.
Live in the now, and every day is a blessing.
Get that.
Yeah, that's wild that this person who literally has a schedule booked like crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, this day, this day, this day. But
I could tell you about a few weeks out. If you said, what are you doing 6 months from now? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm doing season 11 or if the show's canceled. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same
But
way.
I know what I'm doing the next week.
What's your dream job?
Dream job would be Garcelle, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Also host on The Real. Like, that's like my dream career. If I could do Vanderpump Rules and also host a talk show, an entertainment news show, like a dating show. Just I really want to host a show, have my teleprompter, show up, read my script. Like that is a dream job of mine, but also still doing the reality TV because we don't film year round. So in the time that we're not filming the show, I would love to host a travel show is a dream of mine. If I could do a travel show with Brock and Summer, like that would be the best.
That would be dope. You guys should become the new bucket list family.
Yeah.
That would be dope. I would subscribe.
That's fine.
Manifesting.
To see you irritated because Brock's frolicking.
Yeah.
Brock might not make it back. I mean, that's dope, though. I could definitely see you doing something like that. We should start a dating show.
I just think it'd be so fun.
We should. For the love of Don.
Hey.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Don's over it.
Yeah, nah.
Brother, it's there for you. It's out there.
What, dating? Yeah, I'm good.
The love.
I'm very, like, I don't even like going on dates. I'm good.
You don't like people.
I don't. I don't want to leave my house. None of that. Nah.
Do what works for you.
Yeah.
Well, it is getting a tad bit late, and I think we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
But, so next week, February 8th, my two besties have their show, you know. It's back on the air. I'm not going to watch it, but I will be watching if you comment and troll on their pages. So if you go on Raquel's page or Scheana's and you talk shit, I will find out your IP address. And I can't tell you what may happen after that. I'm not liable for what happens when I become the Joker. Don's Grammy nomination is coming up soon.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope we win. No, I really do. But
I mean, listen, I love you.
I already know what you're gonna say. I agree.
I mean, listen, Don's records should have been single of the year, and I would have been like, yes. The album of the year is in the R&B album of the year is in a very, very tough situation because Lucky Day's in that bitch. If it wasn't for Lucky, I think you'd have it. But I'm hoping because it's Chris and Chris's name holds weight that you walk home with one. Because I'm flexing. Like, you know, my co-host won a Grammy.
Nah, that'd be nuts.
That'd be nuts. And I hope it happens, even though
Because then they gotta address me as
Grammy Award winning.
You know what I mean?
but knowing Don, I'd be like, oh, thanks. That's how you.
I probably would, for sure.
Yeah. What's up next for the best of the best of the best? What's the next one?
I don't know yet. We either gonna do best movies of 2022 or something.
You already know I'm ready for the movies.
You got your list?
Nigga, I've had my list.
Ready to go. I don't know which one I'm gonna do yet.
I'm ready.
I've been ready. It's been some other parties. I don't want to say no names. But yeah.
Before we go, Scheana, what are your top 3 movies of all time?
Almost Famous. Literally, I have It's All Happening tattooed on my arm. So that's my number one. A League of Their Own. My great aunt Shirley was one of the original Rockford Peaches, and she passed away last year, but she's actually in the movie. So growing up, that was like my shit. Third one. I love Selena. But also, I was talking to Ariana at lunch today about how much I love Love Actually, and it doesn't even have to be Christmas time. I just love that movie. That's a
cool thing.
I wouldn't have expected Selena.
Selena, like if that is on, I will stop and watch that movie. Like those are movies that no matter what I'm doing, if it's on TV, like I'm gonna watch it. Yeah,
that's dope. Well, I mean, for me.
Don't even ask me because I don't. That's too.
We'll get to that.
That's too definitive.
Yeah, you know I can't answer.
Yeah, that's too definitive.
Yeah. See, I asked her because I'm like she probably she's specific like that.
Oh, before speaking of that, I made a mistake with the ones gotta go. I messed up and said Shawshank gotta go.
Oh yeah.
I take it back.
Yes.
I was bugging.
You were bugging.
Yeah, Milton, he hit me about that. He's like, bro, you tripping. I say.
So tell her what the question was so she's not.
So I think it was the 95 Academy Awards. Forrest Gump won. Yeah. But it was in the best pictures was Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, and Shawshank Redemption.
Just 3?
It was more, but that was like the main 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, one has to go. So I was like, y'all got to pick one. What I say, the directors? And I was, all the directors, all they work has to go. So they was like, who y'all pick?
Forrest Gump had to go.
Oh, yeah, I said Forrest Gump had to go. So that means the director was Robert Zemeckis. So that means Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, all those got to go. And I'm like, y'all getting ready to Back to the Future? I'm like, Shawshank got to go. So I'm thinking like, get rid of one to save the billions. You know what I'm saying? But Shawshank is literally like one of the best movies ever made.
Literally ever.
So I'm bugging. I was talking to my homie. I said, that's like looking at the 16th chapter, like, that is so beautiful, but y'all got to bulldoze this shit.
Yes, gotta
go. So with my homie, he talked me out the ledge, so I apologize.
All right, good. Now that that's settled, first off, thank you guys again for watching with us. Scheana, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you.
Sure. It's been great.
You know, it has always been great. This is a safe place for you. It ain't going to be on the same spectrum as other stuff. We don't care. I mean, I don't care. We come here to talk, heal, get some shit out, cry when we need to. I use this as another form of therapy. And I appreciate you too. I couldn't be doing, like, I think the things I went through this week, it's crazy how we set this up prior to all this shit going on. And my 2 closest people I talk to, and now one of my thirds, are in the same, when I'm going through this altering shit in my life. You know, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to let it fuck with me, but obviously it is something that I have to address and as it comes. But forever thankful. You guys will always have me in your corner, no matter what. If we gotta go, if the world ends, I'm gonna hit y'all. Or if the world, becomes Last of Us, I'm gonna hit y'all. Be like, yo, where are we going as a tribe? Where are we going as a tribe? We got to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? I can't be with these weird motherfuckers over here. Like, I need to be with my people because I'm not getting separated with some weird trolls or something like that, bro. It's just wild. But I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you for being a friend, a mother. Just bringing some of the special people that you've brought in my life. Rob being one of them. Thank you, Rob. We appreciate you making the media.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
You. And I appreciate you, brother, for no matter what time it is a day, you are constantly making sure I'm in a safe space when it comes to my mind. So yeah, I love you guys.
We love you.
Trolls, stop trolling unless it's for money. and get some help. Like those out there, be kind to women. Women, be kind to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I think it's a weird flex if you guys hate on each other. And then also just be mindful. Like, I appreciate you sharing that your feelings about what happened when you had the miscarriage. I don't know. I'm not a man. I would never know what kind of pain that is mentally and physically. But thank you for being so vulnerable on here with us. Thank you, brother. And thank you for admitting you were wrong. And yeah, so we'll see you next week. And we're out.
Peace.